this got shared with me, and I thought this was interesting. This is
yeah. I was gonna say this. KiwiFarms did a bang up analysis of the document that came out today.
Yeah,
They beat me
and
to
this
it.
is. I know. I'm just saying, like, for those of you that don't want to read through how many pages? 54 pages. This thread is it will break it down to like the cliff notes of here's what they're actually claiming in it.
79 pages, by the way.
It's what?
79 pages. So nine more pages
Oh, it
than her
used to be
dissertation.
54. So how many pages did they add to it? Holy, almost
I'm
double
looking
the
at it
length
right
of
now.
This guy said, I didn't expect the complaint to be this good. This is a 400 paragraph long rant by Alyssa with focus on writing a narrative. You can tell in how it's written that both her and her lawyers are deeply seething against Smash JT. I don't even like Smash, but this makes him sound cooler than he actually is. This is comedy gold.
Yeah, they did a bang up analysis of it.
Man, I need to get on KiwiFarms apparently. Alyssa, you're promoting them on accident.
Thank you. Dude, right? they were shitting on this Rising Star thing.
As a result of his focus on Mercante and her rising star in video games journalism, she became a target for further harassment. Wait, Mercante was a rising star?
That's how they labeled it. Yeah, I remember that. I'm looking like
I need some source. I need receipts. How was she a rising star?
I don't know, but that's how that's how they address her in her own lawsuit.
Rising star.
Well, thing is, when they say rising star,
that's from it right there.
Careful, Smash, by you saying that she's gonna be like, oh, he's gonna keep harassing me.
And then look,
telling the truth is not harassment, Alyssa.
And then it's
you need to realize this.
And then it's funny right there in the rebuttal. He says, they call her Miss Rising Star.
Now, Miss Rising Star will try to situate Smash JT in New York, and will try to make it out that he has a deep web of contacts inside of New York. This includes trying to dox Hypnotic through his unboxing channel. And this is where it gets like really creepy.
Oh, yeah.
Like this is like next level creepy. When you see the pictures, they start circling like labels of boxes from his unboxing channel. And here's the fascinating part about this. Like if you actually know anything about Hypnotic is he doesn't live there. All right. Hypnotic is very, very secretive about things. They think this is like a gotcha. And it's all it is building a case for someone else with what they're doing right now. These lawyers, in my humble opinion, are retarded.
Yeah,
I'm allowed to think that, by the way.
Ryan Roger actually reached out to me and he goes, hey, can you send that link so I can send it over to the Bigetverse and they can parse through this? I go, yeah, sure. And then about an hour or two later, I go, so any updates? And he goes, yeah, it's completely wrong. That's just the warehouse that it came from.
Yeah,
that doesn't mean it's the nearest address for them
or anything. That doesn't mean
these
anything.
lawyers are fucking retarded.
My box is
well, hold on,
allegedly.
Real quick, it's not necessarily the lawyers that did that research. She compiled it and gave it to them.
Right, but her lawyers need to be the fucking filter. They're supposed to be like
so any of her minions that do the doxing and scour the internet. One of them thought that was it.
Yeah.
A good lawyer would look at that and be like, "Yeah, no, we can't actually add this to our suit. That doesn't implicate anything. That could literally mean anything."
Yeah, no, absolutely. But my point is that somebody on the sidelines, that's her friend, coached her to send that to her lawyers.
I don't think anybody coached her. I think she's just
she's being coached. She's being coached 110%.
She'll go on to say that because Smash is using Wix and many of its services to host his website and shop, which, by the way, Wix is owned by, I believe, Israel, not New York. It's housed out of, there's like a...
Also, that's why she hates it.
He therefore must play by New York court rules. Boring shit. She then goes on to use this to say that because of the earlier, Smash is targeting New York residents in an attempt to polarize people close to Alyssa.
Again, so only New Yorkers use Wix? Like, god damn, fucking
Oh, I'm
idiot.
trying. According to her, I'm trying to polarize people that live close to her to put her in danger.
Well, you're
Meanwhile,
king-
she's the one going on a doxing spree with this thing, showing where everyone is and everything.
You're the king of New York. You're like Kingpin or some shit.
Apparently, I'm a don of a mafia. I didn't even know, but damn. Okay.
Well, because I'm an insane person that's been doing like and I have like 9 projects in the background. Like I was going through like one of your videos and I was working on a project. You actually literally you have several times said, I do not support this, but I don't not support any harassment that comes against Alyssa. You have said this several times, if not 50 plus times. And there's one specific video that you have where the whole her sister's domain thing happened. You went, do not do this. This is awful. But why doesn't she see the irony of this?
because that's not enough to her. What she wants is Smash to disavow it and to stop at the same time.
But she keeps opening her mouth. She keeps doing shit.
No. I mean, like she wants you to disavow it, and then she wants you to not make videos anymore.
Well, that's not how this works.
Yeah. That's what she wants. She wants you to be like, I don't agree with this. I'm done. That's what she wants.
She wants to say some crazy unhinged shit publicly, and then me, not just me, by the way, me specifically because she's suing me, but she doesn't want you to say anything. She doesn't want Asmon Gold to say anything. She's okay with Jaffe saying it. If Jaffe wants to cover it, I guess that'll be fine. But people who she chooses to talk about a topic are allowed to.
Yeah, she sent a simp to dox me. Like what?
Allegedly,
I cannot confirm that, but
I mean,
it would not surprise me. Let's just say that.
Right. I will not be posting about her Gamergate short recap. We all know it's not only biased and wrong recollection of it, but one especially poised to work it into this lawsuit. After that, she goes on to talk about Smash and his rise to fame and how it was all linked to her and his commentary on the slap fight between DEI back at the start of 2024. She goes on to focus on how Smash got his notoriety from smashing SBI and the culture war on X. And she states he was, quote unquote, one of the loudest voices behind the Gamergate 2.0 drum.
Well, so that's actually very interesting. So, because in the document, so one of the reasons I think that they put the historical facts for Gamergate 1.0 is so that they can, and they essentially label you as the Gamergate 2.0 or something like that, so that they can get to, because later on, as we discussed earlier, that they eventually call you an alt-right figure and that you're using alt-right language.
Alt-right extremist.
Yeah, alt-right extremist. I'm like, what the fuck are you guys talking about?
Well, I mean, this specifically, and I saw Shroom One Up says the court and ? Like what? Even if, by the way, even if this is true, which I would actually have some arguments against it.
Absolutely.
What is illegal here? Like what?
What's illegal? What's illegal about being right wing?
Exactly. What is illegal about being right wing? Which I actually claim to not be a right wing extremist. I feel like I'm pretty center, maybe lean right. And she's like, he's a right wing extremist. I'm like, I'm not though. Just because you might be a left wing extremist doesn't make me the polar opposite of what you are, which is what it feels like when she calls me that.
Yeah,
she calls me a Nazi.
Liberal.
She calls you a Nazi?
Yeah, because I do the Erica bit.
Wait, she literally called you a Nazi though?
Yeah, she calls me a Nazi.
Yikes.
Racist Nazi.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay.
Go ahead, nobody.
Weird. Yeah, like I'm a registered. I'm gonna re-register at some point, but technically I'm registered as a liberal Democrat, and I don't like what's going on in the Democratic Party, so I'm just gonna leave both parties and be independent.
I'm with you, by the way. I actually, for a long time, I used to be a Democrat. I used to lean left until it went too crazy, and I'm like, yeah, nope.
Yeah, exactly. I've just been lazy.
She goes on to talk about how Smash is obsessed with her and how he shot 90 videos of her, being 150 hours of content, not talking about how she herself goads him or is the center of the shit Smash talks about. She tries to spin his Nkataku movement into a directory from which he can send hate to the employees. She tries to say that Smash actually likes harassment by his actions and liking tweets, which I find suspect because she most likely is equating harassment to mean tweets. I don't think Smash would be endorsing death threats. And just to be clear, I know we're all knowing I'm going to say this, but no, I do not endorse death threats or any kind of harassment or
None of us do.
attacks. I don't endorse any of that shit. I've always been that way, and I disavow it when I see it. I had somebody, I won't talk about who it was because it was in DMs, but I had someone trying to liken something in this lawsuit to us finding out about the secret DM or the secret Discord that Alyssa was asking people for information on me. And they're saying, oh, Smash did the same thing on his Discord publicly. And literally what they're showing is me when someone asking, I'm not going to tell any jokes about Alyssa anymore. And I said, I don't care what you do ever. And they're like, oh, he's endorsing it. I'm like, no, I'm saying, I don't care what you do. Fuck her. Like, this person's suing me. I don't care. Like, whatever you are doing, I don't care about that. I don't want anything to do with that. Don't come to me with that stuff. Please don't. And they're like, look at him participating in this.
But but you could say like you don't endorse any of that 10 million times. They do not care. You could be the nicest, most respectful person ever. They don't care.
No, I forget what it was, but at some point.
Well, hold on real quick. This is it right here. Josh T. Clark said, Smash, in deference to you and your situation, I will lay off the Mercante jokes for the foreseeable future. Sound good to you? And I said, LOL, I honestly don't care, ever. And that's just me being real. I honestly don't care what he does.
That's violence, Smash.
How is it violence?
Really, that's harassment.
I'm not saying no, please go back to attacker. Please keep doing. I'm basically saying like I don't want to deal with in my Discord. I don't tag me and say bring this up and be like, hey, because this like it incriminates me. I don't want anything to do with this. Yeah. And yet, see, no matter what it is, any crumb they can find, this is. My Discord has been going for 8 years. This is one screenshot from a Discord that doesn't even incriminate me. I'm like, this is what you got? This?
And then you see, you're like, I'm in your Discord. You're pretty hands off on that. Like, you just
I barely even participate in it. I don't have time with it.
And I'm like, what evidence is this? And here's what's weird is that they mentioned this, but later on, they're like, oh wait, he doesn't care, but he also has a hate campaign. Like later on this,
right.
Make it make sense.
Make it make sense. I think what it is they're trying to say I do care here, even though I literally say I honestly don't care.
Well, these people opened themselves up and basically told on themselves because some of these people are making a thing like, oh, wasn't he upset about the Discord exposure that they were in it? That, the whole thing that just happened a few weeks ago. So basically they're telling on themselves, saying that they were also on a Discord doing it.
100%.
Fucking idiots.
Kira says, FYI, I thought you could join Smash JT Discord without paying. Yes, you can. My Discord's open to all. And my concern is, and this is the person I was talking to in DMs, I'm like, what are you trying to do here? Do you want me to take my Discord down now? Like, because I can't control what happens in my Discord. Nobody can. And that's what these people want. They just want to shut everything down. They want to silence.
You said nobody can. Does that mean I can?
I'm like, these people would literally say my Discord is up, and because it's up and it has a Smash JT name, even if I don't say something, that it's under my name, so it falls to me. And I'm like, well, if that's the case, literally every Discord needs to be shut down because what are we doing? After having said all that, the real claims and jokes begin. Now she starts talking about Smash publishing false claims about her, namely that she sucks dick for higher positions. While explaining that he did this, she can't stop herself from fellating about how sex work is real work. Exactly. Alyssa, pick a lane. And that she was a quote unquote a sex worker herself. So if she was a cam girl, a sex worker herself, and says sex work is real work, and says that she sucked dick to get into the game industry, how are all these statements now incriminating me for saying what you suck dick? Like that one tweet is what she's basing a lawsuit around? Are we insane right now?
Apparently.
but she would never be a prostitute. The joke here is that after having said all this, she reveals that she did say she sucks dick, but what she said was in a humorous manner, not the vile, venomous manner that he said it in. Her claim is that because her statement was made after Smash said what he said, he had no proof that she did suck dick. Therefore, he knowingly published wrong information. This only works if you assume Smash is a journalist and that this was a genuine claim, which I doubt. And oh, by the way, they would need to prove that that tweet was a genuine claim and that I am a journalist. Which, by the way, I always say I'm not a journalist. I'm a YouTuber. I've never been claiming. I think there was one time where I'm like, oh, I want to be a journalist, or I think I'm a journalist. No, I 5 years ago, I'm like, nope, I ain't a journalist. I'm not. And they're gonna like 5 years ago be like, oh, remember this one time you said you're a journalist? I'm like, no, I'm not. I'm not.
Well, the thing is, and with defamation, defamation, you have to have to be horribly wrong or knowingly be false. And I'm looking at this, I go, well, which is it? Because I don't think anyone could really parcel this out. The only argument that you have is as obviously a joke. Like, well, in what context? Because she's been a cam girl too.
I would be careful with saying that you need a high burden of proof, because with the Carl Jupp situation, I mean, I feel like they needed a much higher burden, and they just used like one statement and found him guilty for hundreds of thousands of dollars.
Way more fucked.
Exactly. Which again, I go back to saying I'm glad I'm in America, because yikes, Australia. But at the same time, that doesn't guarantee anything either. So people in the chat who say I'm too cocky about this, I am very cautious about being overconfident. All I'm doing is saying this is ridiculous. I think that's fair.
I think alone it's ridiculous that there's a whole fucking legal document that's arguing about whether somebody sucks dick or not. Like, it's like, if I was a judge, I'd be like, what the fuck are we doing here?
What are we doing here? If I was a judge, I'd be like, okay, this is serious. Oh, wait, you were a cam girl. You have an OnlyFans. You've said you've sucked dick.
Oh, she said on Twitter, she told somebody on Twitter the other day that she doesn't have an OnlyFans.
It might have been an off website. I haven't gone too far into it.
Oh, what does she have? Is it a Patreon?
No, just somebody just said, oh, you have an OnlyFans. She goes, no, I don't.
So does she or does she not have an OnlyFans?
I don't fucking know.
We know that she's a cam girl. There's many sites for cam girls.
So
and
let me correct myself, and I'm sorry for the courts. My goodness. She has a Patreon, correct? Nobody?
She does have a Patreon. I am subscribed to it. I pay money towards it.
That has some could say lewd photos on the Patreon. Would you agree with that?
Her first, so you know that photo where she's taking a picture and it's just her ass, like, well, not just her ass, but that's literally the email you get, and it's her first post.
Yikes. Well, regardless if she has a Patreon or not, in the past she's had some kind of platform
or whatever.
She's had some kind of platform in the past for her cam girl days.
Exactly.
Yeah, and she's admitted to it. And she's
now,
the
other thing that she's saying that she didn't do is she's claiming that she never challenged people to fight in real life and never turned down a fight from anybody. She also said that the other day.
She also said, I believe she said this was a joke.
And if you have a problem with that, come fight me physically, bitch.
Did you take that?
There are darks ready.
Did you take it as a joke?
She's claiming none of that ever happened, though. Now,
of course, revisionist history. Yeah. And I would almost believe it, like, potentially as a joke, except for whoever followed up saying, has anyone taken you up on that? No, because they're all pussies. Like, that's not a joke anymore.
And then also the whole thread of her saying, okay, we'll do it, but it can't happen on camera. People can't make money off of it.
Yeah, she wants it like a back alley, in a dark back alley in New York.
Or her even messaging Mac saying, say that to my face, whatever. Like, you know what I mean? Like, she's done threats to people.
Yep.
Oh, yeah, she's done it to me in my chat.
Yeah, I've seen it.
She credits the very wide belief of her sucking dicks for positions as a lie spread by Smash and not a natural assumption you come to after reading her articles and tweets. Which, oh, by the way, remember that one where she tweeted about sleeping with a dude for a story?
Yep.
Like, what? Which came well before. After all this, Alyssa starts crying about how Smash is obsessed with her and how he has over 100 tweets. How many tweets does she have about me? I would argue probably over 100 tweets about me. What does that mean if it's only one-sided? 90 videos and 50 plus blog posts about her. And this persisted even after she had blocked him. After having a long wine session about, I love wine sessions, not this kind though. Take the H out. About having her address leaks on the farms, she goes on to try and say that Smash JT is bad because the people who read his blog posts and watch his videos take the information in them at face value, which I can promise you guys, people do not do that. people push back. People say this. People say I'm wrong about this. It's an open forum about the stuff that I say when this comes up because it is opinion stuff. And this is Smash's fault, you see. This simply would not have happened were it not for Smash. She goes on to say that this environment leads to rape threats and that Smash has a web of underlings in New York that read his stuff and publish it, therefore having a network dedicated to harassing her. After this, she posts about her death threats and links it to Smash. Nothing interesting, which I'll just let you guys chat if you want, but trying to link death threats to her from me is pretty crazy. Again, that's pretty incriminating against what she is. But any thoughts on any of that before I go on? I'll keep reading.
Basically, this entire thing, and thank you, KiwiFarms, for making Ron Coleman's job so much easier. We really
honestly,
do appreciate
I just
you.
give this to Ron and be like, "Hey, Ron, here's this." Which, by the way,
Yeah.
like I am a very busy person. I cannot be bothered with frivolous shit, and to me, this is a frivolous suit. I know that sounds like cocky, but I'm like, no. Knowing what this is about, this is someone who has too much time on their hands and thinks that they actually have something.
They're throwing paint against the wall and hoping something sticks.
Yep,
That's it. I'm guessing that they're just trying to do their best to be like, hey, get emotionally invested, judge. And at the very end of the document, they're like, by the way, we're asking for a jury and stuff like that, because if they go with the jury and they're going to try to emotionally pull the strings, they're going to drag you to New York. And then you're going to sit there and be like, by the way, she DM'd my wife.
right.
For no fucking reason. And the rest of this isn't really going to fucking matter anyways.
I mean, remember, by the way, none of this lawsuit talks about her messaging my wife. Interesting how they leave that out.
Yeah,
because
by the way, she never talks about you on her Patreon. Not once.
Okay.
Not once.
Well, I mean, I would hope she doesn't, by the way. She's suing me, so that would look really bad if she was.
Yeah, but she'll go into your chat and be like, bring me on, and then delete the delete the chat. So
Alyssa then tries to say that because Smash uses her public images and thumbnails, he is infringing on her rights. Now, remember, this is a quote-unquote journalist that uses pictures in her articles about people.
Yeah.
So, what?
Does she not use headers when she was, working for Kotaku? Like, isn't that what a title is to a certain extent?
Right. After having a cry session about how mean Smash JT is for using pictures she published online, she goes on to say that his harassment goes beyond himself, piling that her many controversies are tangentially caused and related to Smash. Specifically, when she was trying to get into Hassan's pants, it quickly becomes apparent why she even brings this up. Which, by the way, I still don't know anything about the Hassan and Destiny shit outside of me covering one story about Destiny sharing a thread of Alyssa. Like that was Destiny, and me covering him sharing a thread that he created or someone created and share with him. I had no idea anything more than that.
How dare you, Smash?
And Eric, you made a video on that too, didn't you?
Yeah, it's Atreus, me, Atreus,
a bunch
me,
of people did.
Yeah.
It quickly becomes apparent why she even brings this up, because she reveals that she was forced to resign from her position on Kotaku following this little internet drama because people were accusing Kotaku of anti-Semitism. She seems to equate Smash to the position of journalist because she says he's a hypocrite for saying that political content only polarizes and biases games journalism. This is backed up by how much she talks about Smash's apparent disregard for truthful information, which only works if he is indeed a journalist and not an internet entertainer
Mm.
and retard. I am an internet entertainer and retard all
You
day.
should put that in your Twitter bio. You fucking won't.
I definitely will. I'm going to do it right
Make that
now.
your make that your
I'm doing it
pronouns,
right
man.
now.
Make it
Internet
your
entertainer
pronouns.
and retard.
Hey, speaking of
Let's go with
Kotaku, she was the other day, she was like a certain website's certain editor in chief. So she's trashing the new Kotaku editor in chief. She
Who
was
is?
saying Merc.
Alyssa is?
Yeah, she was basically trying to say that he's not doing enough to stop the harassment and shit. She made a tweet about it. KiwiFarms covered it the other day, actually. She was like a certain editor in chief for a certain website, so she's fucking seething over the current editor in chief.
There you go.
There you go. I like that.
Internet entertainer and retard. It's official. I write articles and make YouTube videos talking about video games and stuff.
Great.
As someone that works with people with intellectual developmental disabilities, I can professionally say, Smash, you are retarded.
I don't know how to tell you this, but that means so much to me. Thank you, nobody.
I feel it right here, man.
Right.
I mean, Smash, did you DM Alyssa Mercante at all before she DM'd your wife?
No, she DM'd me some very horrific and horrible things, and I didn't respond to her because I'm like, this bitch is unhinged.
Mm-hmm.
And then because I wasn't responding to her, she then searched out my wife and started saying some awful things about me to my wife. And I'm like, you don't go there. And people were saying that's lawsuit material for me against her back then. And I'm like, yeah, I don't know if it's worth it. Whatever. This too shall pass. Here we go. This is the DM from her.
Yep.
I never responded to this. Weird how they didn't include this in the lawsuit. This is our only communication via DM. This would be pretty important to include, don't you think?
Hi, Alyssa Mercante's lawyers. Here's some
Weird.
things that Alyssa didn't talk to you about. Maybe she's holding, information or something like that. Like, who would have thought?
Right.
Allegedly.
Right. You and your ilk are sending harassment towards countless people for clout. That man could fucking kill someone, and you're emboldening him. This is when she was mad that I shared
The
VR guy at Polished Productions. I'm like, first off, I didn't even know who the guy was at the time, and he was sharing the Kotaku petition with a picture of like pink and blue. I didn't even look at the picture. I didn't even know what it was, and she got really mad at it. So I unretweeted it, and she got nuts. I truly wish nothing but the worst for you for the rest of your miserable fucking life. Which, oh, by the way, this is gonna look great at the court. Holy shit. This is our first introduction to each other, everyone. You're a fucking
and you have not contacted her. This is before she DM'd your wife. Let's make this very clear for her lawyers.
You're a fucking 45-year-old man. Look at what you're doing with your life. And then this is a DM to my wife. Hi, I'm reaching out because I just want you to be aware of it's a fact now, that your husband and father of your children is sending heaps of harassment towards women, myself included, and other folks on social media over video games. He's writing art. How unhinged is this, by the way?
I don't know why she's not getting hired anywhere. I have no clue why she's not getting hired anywhere.
Yeah.
Which, again, I don't think she has a job as a waitress at all. In my personal opinion, I don't think so.
I agree. He's writing articles about me, making videos about me, and even made a petition about me. No,
it was about Kotaku, not about you.
Had nothing to do with you specifically.
You were a symptom, not the disease at the time.
Today, he shared a post from a man who has been threatening to execute me in virtual reality for weeks.
Was it No Mercy?
Yeah, right. A man, exactly. By the way, these people are all the same, where they convolute fiction with reality. A man who has photoshopped himself pointing at guns at me and blood on my face. When I pointed this out to your husband, he deleted his post. Yeah, because you asked me to. Before I even knew who you were, I was like, all right, sorry about that. I didn't know that was offensive to you. Jesus,
I remember when you did that. You were just being like, you know what? Like you're not really choosing sides here. You're just being like, okay, I'm going to be nice and let's just delete it. Right.
Mhm.
That was essentially the idea. And then she's like, wait, he was nice and listened to me. How dare he?
Like literally, she even admits in the DM to my wife that I did what she asked me to do. I removed it. And she still went out of her way to search my wife out, DM her, and try to disrupt our marriage. That is actual lawsuit material, in my humble opinion.
And the thing is, like, anything that's come to her, it all came from this.
Mhm.
All of it.
Yeah, and
Like,
she
if
started
wouldn't
it
have done-
exactly.
yeah.
She
If
kicked
she
this up,
wouldn't have done any of this shit,
and
none
it's
of
all
this.
going to come back to this.
Well, no, this wasn't even the first thing that people were criticizing her about.
Right.
The Sweet Baby Inc. doesn't do what you think they do article is what brought the first
Yep.
wave.
She
When I
has
pointed
her-
this out to
yeah,
you,
she has
he
a right to
deleted this post. He then commented jokingly on a post I made about him platforming a violent man by sharing the petition he's made to end the website I work for. Look at her trying to paint this as bad as possible.
How dare you retweet something?
How dare? Oh, here it is right here. This is awful. Oh my God, look at this. Oh, look, and scumbag. She calls me a scumbag. Look at this. Oh, fun fact. Hold on, let me move us. We're in the way. Scumbag Smash JT. So she calls me a scumbag here. That's weird. This is one of my first interactions with her ever, and starts it off like this. Who started a fucking petition to end Kotaku is platforming him. And this is the one that I unretweeted. I don't imply anyone agrees with me on politics, but we agree on Kotaku. I'm here to bring VR therapy to new people and promote my VR content to help America control gaming content inside the headset. I am hyping people I like. Let me know if Smash AT or fans have issues with this. The squad execution. Like, I looked at this, I thought it was a video game for Modern Warfare. And I was just like, okay, I don't understand what that has to do with anything, but hey, he's with me on the end Kotaku, so sure, I'll retweet it alongside like 12 other things. But anyways, I'm digressing here. Alyssa then cries about how Smash keeps posting a funny edited photo of her. I can't summarize how great the statements are. Tarzia also frequently shares manipulated photos or images of Mercante in a t-shirt, but claims that the image has not been altered from the original.
Hilarious.
I mean, first off, I thought Alyssa posted this herself because that image on her t-shirt is literally what her headline was on her Twitter bio.
Mhm.
That picture of her and that saying was there. So I assume she's wearing that t-shirt. I wonder, that's weird. Where's the t-shirt of her wearing I DM'd his wife or whatever that t-shirt was?
Yeah, I've seen that one.
Yeah, that she actually wore. Where's that one? What even is this lawsuit?
And the thing is, look, see what it says there? It says claims, that you claim this. What does that actually say?
It says that this is what I thought. If this is not accurate, I am sorry, Alyssa. I thought that was a t-shirt you wore. I thought that you shared this on Twitter. That is my mistake. My goodness.
Oh my God.
How are you ever going to recover from me mistakenly sharing a photo of you wearing a t-shirt that has literally the image of what you had on your Twitter bio with the same picture you had on your Twitter bio?
You got McDrizzled before you got McDrizzled.
Right? I will skip to the part where Alyssa talks about how Smash JT and his lawyer talk about the lawsuit despite still being in court, as is petty legal jargon. After all this whining and crying, Alyssa finally states the charges. She is suing Smash for defamation due to tweets and articles where he states she sucks dick for jobs, while saying tweets made by her stating she was a sex worker were merely a joke. She does not appear to have the self-reflection that Smash may also claim that his were jokes, as he is an internet retard and not a journalist.
It's official. It's on his X now.
Yeah, exactly. If you need
and professionally approved.
Professional, yeah, exactly. So there you go. If you guys need like backup, it literally says it right here.
Well,
I mean, this is how Alyssa runs lawsuits, just on the fly. There you go.
by the way, on the record, I cannot legally diagnose anybody.
Oh, it gets better though. After this, she claims bias-related violence or intimidation because she is a cisgender, bisexual woman. Enough said. Like
I
what
could
the
say the
fuck does
same
this
thing,
have-
by the way.
What's that?
I could say the same thing, by the way.
That's
How
exactly my
dare you,
point.
Toasty?
Toasty, that's my point. What the fuck does this have to do with
When have
anything?
you-
I could
ever
say the
ju-
same thing that she was doing the same to me, being on my chat, on my live stream chat, and like bothering me and stuff like that. I could say the same thing.
Right?
And what does her being bisexual have to do anything with this?
Literally nothing.
We don't care. No one has cared.
What's victim points for her?
She
Yeah.
then claims intentional infliction of emotional distress, where she cries about all the meanies online who make fun of her and make Smash out to be the source of all the death threats. She tries to say that Smash supports this behavior by showing an excerpt where he says that such behavior is unfortunate, seemingly going against it. What's the statement? I didn't see this part. Hold on.
And they claim your intent as if they know what your mental status was at the time.
Right. I'm just reading through those real quick to see. As said above, Mercante has received. Holy shit! These lawyers are retarded.
I know.
Allegedly, as said out above, Mercante has received thousands of death threats.
Okay.
Do you know what that just opened up?
Everyone on the internet.
Well, no, that literally just opened up for what do you call it? For discovery. Yes, we would like you to prove that allegation. We would like to see not just 1,000. We would like to see multiple thousands of your death threats. So you need to prove to us that everything in this has to be true. By the way, these allegations need to be true. So they need to prove that she has received thousands of death threats
as a result of you.
Yeah, exactly.
As a result,
specifically as a result of me, not just
because just because you're getting them doesn't mean it's Smash's fault.
It's because
you know how many times I get people messaging me fucked up shit.
Yep,
I've had it.
And it's not but that's not the
ahead.
thing to prove. That's not the thing to prove. Because if it's a result of you, is different than you saying do this. Very different thing. Like, look. Everyone, like I have one fan. He goes a little crazy on Reddit. I mean, that's fine. They're just speculating. This is a speculation documentation.
That's why they have to prove that it was a result of something Smash did, which you can't. That's a fucking what's the term? You can't prove something that can't be proven like that. It's all, and then on top of that, that just so I know she's probably tuning in or other people are tuning in, just because we get tagged in something doesn't mean we endorse what we're being tagged in or somebody reacts to something. You know how many times I'll get tagged in a post that's calling Mercante all sorts or something like that I'm like, okay, cool, I was just tagging. Doesn't mean I agree with it. Doesn't mean that I think it's funny. Doesn't mean Smash.
No, she should be suing that person.
Yeah, doesn't mean Smash should be. That's not how it works. That's not how it works.
Yeah, they mentioned other creators. She's not suing them. She could sue all of the people that she could use. She can, Toasty. She can sue you, Ape Eric. She can do, Rev versus Desu. Like she could says Desu. Man, I cannot say his name today. Like, but why isn't she suing you all at once? If you guys are in this conspiracy that she's literally her and her lawyers are literally saying like, well, they're clearly communicating with each other. No, you're not. You're just looking at the news and saying, what the fucking
the game plan. And I'm not saying she has any kind of case at all. You don't sue everybody at once. You sue the snake's head. You sue the snake's head, which she's saying smashes the fault, and then you get everybody else after that. She's already said it to me. I'm coming after you after I get smashed. She's already said it to me. So you get one person at a time. You never go everywhere. If you're suing, like, let's say I get burned at McDonald's. You sue the fucking company, then you sue that location, then you sue the man. You do it in a row. You can't just do it all at once.
Her fourth claim is that because Alyssa had a contract with Kotaku and Smash made fun of her, his work was actually unlawful as it was trying to take away her job and thus against her contract, plainly saying that the reason for her firing was Smash because he rode the wave from Destiny's spat against Hassan, which again, I go back to, why are you not suing Destiny?
Mm-hmm.
What it's especially if you're making the claim of like, I'm the reason you lost your job, and then it comes back to, oh well, it's actually Destiny. It's like, well, then you can't say I'm the reason. I don't even know the Destiny situation. I don't know anything about this anti-Semitism, allegedly. I don't know anything about that shit. That has nothing to do with me at all. You're trying to connect me to that.
And that
Very
wasn't her
confusing.
initial statement at the time. She was saying that it's something that was personal. If I remember correctly, so allegedly, to the best of my knowledge, that's not her original statement. She didn't blame you for that, but apparently she changed her mind when it became legal.
Yeah, well,
So pick a lane.
She changed what happened after it became legal. She started going back and forth of why she left. Oh, I left on my own. Oh, I got fired. Oh, I left on my own. It went back and forth multiple times.
Or they encouraged her to resign. Like we don't know.
Right.
And the thing is, she's a journalist that's supposed to be exposing the truth, and yet we're doing it for her.
Her fifth claim is, and I quote, common law stochastic terrorism and or prima facie tort, with the hysterical emoji, wherein she claims the lawsuit is not actually for loss of reputation or because of his false statements, because she knows there isn't any in this case, and the second is just jokes, but because she is a victim, you see. Smash JT is actually a terrorist because he writes a lot of mean tweets. Prayer for relief. Based on the foregoing, Alyssa Mercante asked the court to enter the judgment in her favor, including but not limited to actual and punitive damages and the amounts to be determined at trial. And at least $75,000 of that is directly based upon factually false statements made. So now they need to prove that I've made that I've made more than, not, they say at least, they need to prove to the court that I've made over $75,000 specifically on factual false statements about Alyssa Mercante, which I can promise you guys, that is impossible. But we're going to leave that up to the courts to figure out.
Greedy.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I think what it is she's seen your intro to your videos and she's like, yeah, that guy's got money. I'm going to sue him.
My intro of having a pool from a house
like
that I bought.
Yeah. And I think because she's a peasant, she's a peasant. And I think she's just like, yeah, I'm going to sue that guy because he looked like he has a lot of money. He has a nice pool and he has that car and all that.
He has a pool, he has a car, and he has kids that go to school.
And you were able to build a shed. You built a shed. How dare you?
I built a shed, which she was very angry about. She was like, oh, $18,000 for a shed, which she was, according to her words, if that's harassing with what I've done, she was harassing me about spending money on his shed. So curious how that works.
And he has a home with a roof that is not leaking.
That's true. This is true. Although I did have a leak in my roof a few years back, but I went up and patched it myself.
How dare you be a working man?
Right. Despite popular belief, I could not afford someone to come to the house and patch it. So I literally bought the supplies at Lowe's and did it myself. So, yeah.
How dare you be resourceful and learn how to do things?
Right. No matter where you or me are, we can all take solace in the fact that we are emotional terrorists against Alyssa because we post mean things about her online. Am I right? Man, KiwiFarms is so mean here, guys. That's amazing. That's amazing. But yeah, that was basically the main point of what I wanted to get through tonight. Did anyone have any additional thoughts? Or I mean, we can keep talking about it, but
did anyone actually ever look up what stochastic terrorism is? So apparently is a form of political violence instigated by hostile public rhetoric directed at a group or an individual. Unlike incitement or terrorism, stochastic terrorism is accomplished with indirect, vague, or coded language, which grants the instigator plausible deniability for any associated violence.
So projection from Alyssa. Gotcha.
So she's basically saying, he didn't say it, but he totally meant it. What?
Again, more projection by Alyssa.
Coded
What
word.
I mean, it's like the Marxist creed where it's like accuse your enemy of what you're doing to confuse them. That's what this feels like is happening right now. Where I'm like, what's even happening? All right,
I will say this:
Okay.
anybody that was named in it, don't worry. But I will say that she's shown her game plan. Just alone with that, where you say coded language. I'm not saying watch what you say, but if you don't want her to try to blame you for bullshit, all of us included on this panel, even if we're not doing it, she's going to be looking for gotchas. As simple as like, oh, I like reading comments in the chat, stuff like that.
Yep. Well,
the
unfortunate thing with that, and I
Yeah.
don't mean to cut you off, but it's like,
Yeah.
no matter how much you watch what you say or what you do,
They're looking for a way to twist it.
They'll twist it, so it doesn't even matter. Like
Yeah.
that's
what I'm
who you're
saying.
dealing with right now. It's like it doesn't even matter what you say. It will. This lawsuit or this adjusted suit proves that to me. Where it's like they don't even care what you say. We're gonna just take a screenshot of it and say this is what they meant by it.
Yeah. So they're looking for a reason to say that you have coded language. So don't censor yourself. Like I said, if just because you're tagged in something doesn't mean you endorse it. Just because somebody comments in your video doesn't mean you endorse it. Just because somebody reacts to your video doesn't mean you endorse it. Stay true to who you are and just stay vigilant and don't let them bully you. But at the same time, like I'm never engaging with her ever again, because when you do, that's when she tries to cry. Yeah. So I would literally just ignore it, because she's just looking for book content at this point.